Welcome to the PSO RITE breathwork moving class, focusing on the feet and the calf. So first, what I want you to do is just start to get inventory on your body. Let's move your neck around left and right. Looking to the left, looking to the right. Get into your arms. Let's rotate those shoulders. Keep those arms nice and straight out to your side. Focusing on that breath. Taking in big, deep breaths. Bring your arms behind your back, breathing in through the nose. We're focusing all of our breath through the nose, out through the nose, in through the nose. Bring the hands up behind your head. Feel free to close your eyes and just listen to what I'm saying, and I will guide you through this practice. Just go nice and slow. Keep breathing in and out, nice and slow. Be aware of that breath. We're going to slowly twist our torso left and right. Shake out your arms, bring your shoulders up, bring them down, and then now let's get into all fours. We're going to tuck our toes underneath, and you're going to shift your hips side to side. Bring those hips back to the ankles, and you're going to shifting side to side. If this is too much for you, you can stay in that all fours position where your knees are at that 90-degree angle. But if you can, try to sit all the way back and sit right on your ankles. Keep those toes tucked up underneath, and you're shifting slowly side to side, getting into each toe, going into your pinky while you're breathing in and out. Then go to your ring toe, breathe in and out nice and slow. Go to the middle toe, then your index, and then your big toe. And then shift over to the left side. Same thing, start on that pinky toe, breathing in and out. Slowly work your way all the way across to that big toe. Be aware of your breath here. Breathe in through the nose, out through the nose, nice and slow. Find a consistent rhythm that you can keep with the whole practice. Keep breathing here, nice and slow, in and out. Find those tender, tight spots on your feet and in your toe that we're going to start to massage with the PSO RITE products. A little bit more, just focus on that breath, shifting your body side to side. Now what I want you to do is I want you to stand up, open your eyes up. We're going to grab the PSO RITE and we're going to start to massage into our foot. Place your foot on one of the peaks, and we're just going to be shifting side to side, curling those toes in. Bring them up, bring them down. Shift your foot side to side. Keep a nice pressure. Don't have to be too aggressive here. We're just searching for more tender, tight spots in that foot, right in the arch, up by the ball of the foot, down by the heel of the foot. And you're just exploring here. Remember to keep breathing, focus on your breath. When you find a tender spot, this is when you really want to breathe deep and breathe into that muscle. Focus on that muscle relaxing. And if you're not finding any tender spots, that is okay as well. It's not a big deal. It means that you have some healthy feet. If you're finding a lot of tender spots, then this is something I recommend you do day and night. Start your day PSO RITE and end your day PSO RITE with a nice foot massage. Put it right at the end of your bed and massage those feet when you get up and when you go to bed. Now we're going to turn the PSO RITE so it's straight perpendicular with us, and we're going to slide our feet up and down on it. This can feel really nice and really get into a lot of that plantar fasciitis, the arch of your foot. When you feel like you've massaged your foot enough, we're going to switch over to the right foot. Same thing, curl those toes in, create pressure, and then you're going to twist. This is beneficial because it's called, we're cleaning up our feet, and it's creating what's called a shear force. This is helping get some of that gunk off of other muscles that maybe are stuck, or causing some of those adhesions or those bumps in your tendons. So a nice pressure of sliding your feet across the peaks and moving your toes up and down can really help with getting some relief into that bottom of your foot. So now turn that so right so it's perpendicular, and we're going to be sliding up and down long passes on the bottom of your foot, starting at the palm, the ball of your foot, going back towards your heel. Same thing here. Keep focusing on your breath, breathing in through your nose, and then exhaling through your nose. If you feel comfortable, you don't feel lightheaded, you can also do some block breathing during this practice as well. That's where you're going to breathe in for a couple of seconds, 4 seconds, then you're going to hold it for 4 seconds, and then you're going to exhale for 4 seconds, and then hold on the exhale for 4 seconds. Okay, so now we're going to come back down. We're going to retest the position that we just did in the beginning. We're going to get those toes, tuck them up underneath, sit back as far as you can. That's pain-free. Never work through pain. And shift your body side to side. And make note of where you feel the difference in each toe on your left side and on your right side. And now you can practice this every day. You can do it multiple rounds. You don't have to be super aggressive because you now have the tool. You can be able to do this multiple times during the day. Like I said, do it in the morning, do it at night. You can add in some more aggressive movements like I'm doing right now, where I'm trying to go up on my toes. This might be a little bit too advanced for you, which is totally fine. You can just stay back on your toes. You can stay in this 90-90. The main thing here is we're trying to bring blood flow to our feet. And then we want to strengthen our feet. We want to strengthen our toes. We want to strengthen the muscles in our arches. We want to have range of motion in our toes. Okay, so now we're going to move on to our calf. So the main thing here is same thing. If you can't do this position because your knees are tender, put a pillow underneath your left knee. You can also get some chairs and put your arms on the chairs, your hands on the chairs. That can help you, give you more balance. If you can't lean over and touch the ground, you can grab yoga blocks. Main thing here is we're trying to keep our heel connected to the ground, and then we're going to lean forward as far as we can to see how far our ankle will bend. And then you're going to take note on what part of your calf is tight or tender or both. We're working, we're massaging, we're stretching the muscle called the soleus. This is the lower calf muscle that comes down and can connect right into the heel and the Achilles. Now you can use the So Mini. I'm going to use the So Stick. Now what we want to do here is we want to do short and long passes. So we can do longer passes on the lower part of the calf, so starting at the heel and coming all the way up to the main part of the calf. And then we can also do long passes from the heel all the way up to the knee crease. And then we can stay right on that top part of the calf, the bigger part, the gastroc, and really just massaging it into those muscles, bringing blood flow and helping break up any type of gunk that maybe is causing that tightness. Plus, by doing this massage, it's going to bring blood flow, which is also going to bring warmth, and it can help you with having better range of motion. The muscles are more warmed up, the muscles will be more flexible. Once you've done that, we're going to switch over to the other side. Same thing, prep yourself up, put something underneath your knee, grab the chairs, grab the yoga blocks, give yourself enough support. So we don't want this position to be painful, we want it to be comfortable, but we also want it to be a little bit challenging so we can be able to see results in our ankles. Same thing here, make sure that the ankle is pressed down, hold that down, and then you can press the top part of your leg with the opposite hand like I'm doing right now. I'm using my left hand on my left knee, my right hand on my right or on my left ankle to keep it all secure and to get the most out of that stretch. Same thing here, when we're doing the massage, we want to straighten our ankle so that our calf muscle is actually loose. We don't want our calf muscle to be partially stretched or partially tight. We're not going to get the most out of the massage. Make sure you're doing the left and the right, not just the back. And then when you do find a tender spot that needs a little bit more attention, you can stop on that spot, press into it, and breathe. Breathe really deep for 3 to 5 times, and then you can move on to a new spot. If you don't feel it, you can just keep massaging up and down. Now we're going to do a retest. We're going to come back to the other leg. We let that leg give it a little bit of a break. Brace that ankle with that left hand. We have the right leg up. Brace the ankle with the left hand and just stay here and breathe. Let's breathe in for a 4 count. You're going to hold it for a 4 count. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you're going to exhale for a 4 count. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to hold on the exhale. 2, 3, 4. And repeat that. Focus on bringing energy, bringing blood flow, bringing healing to the calf, to the ankle, to the feet. Now once you're done with that breath, let's move on to the other leg. Left side, left hand on the left knee, right hand on the left ankle. Press that ankle down, push that knee down, listen to your body. Remember, never push through pain. Focus on that breathing. If you need to back off a little bit, you can back off. Another thing that can be really helpful here too is by slowly shifting your knee side to side. You might find some positions that are tender and sore. Okay, so go ahead and come out of that. We're going to sit back. We're going to grab the psoas RITE. We're going to turn it on its side. So we're going to work the base of the psoas RITE, and we're going to work on the Achilles tendon. And so what I'm doing here, this is called strain counter strain. So I'm putting the edge of the psoas RITE right on my Achilles, and I'm pressing, and this is on my left leg, and I'm pressing down my foot with my right leg, my right foot. And this is causing more pressure onto that Achilles while it's in a relaxed state. This can help bring a lot of range of motion to that ankle and to your Achilles and really keep a nice healthy Achilles. We challenge our muscles, we challenge our ankles, we challenge our calves, our feet every day because we're doing at least 10, 20, 25, 30,000 steps a day. And then if you're running, you're applying a lot more pressure. So with this movement, we're going to apply pressure to the Achilles. We're going to search side to side, find the tender spot, and then we're going to breathe deep. Breathe down into your pelvis. We're going to stay here for about 30 to 60 seconds on each leg. Keep applying that pressure, and when you feel that spot start to melt, you're going to shift ever so slightly and find a new spot until the 30 or 60 seconds is up. Remember to keep focusing on breathing. Breathe down into your pelvis. In through the nose, out through the nose. Using the edge of the psoas RITE is even more effective than using the peak of the psoas RITE because of the surface area. It really gets into that Achilles, and you'll notice that your range of motion and the tension in your calves is a lot less after doing this type of massage. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to turn that psoas RITE so it's in line with our calf, and we're going to do some more longer pass massage. It's kind of like a forearm that would be going up and down your calf if a massage therapist was massaging your calf. Hold on to the peak, start closer to your heel, and then you're going to press down and then work your way up towards your gastroc. So we're working mostly right into the soleus right now. And you're just going to do a handful of passes here, searching for anything that's tender. You can always stop on a spot, or you can just keep going back and forth. I'm going to just keep going back and forth. Tenderness isn't too bad. Most of the tenderness that I have in my lower leg is in the thicker part of the calf. Now, if you want to get creative, we can grab the sew back and the sew neck, grab your sew stick, and then you can make a bridge by placing the sew stick on top of either one, and then now you have a roller that's off the ground, and we can do much longer passes. A little bit different surface area. You can go a little bit faster. You can even apply an extra pressure with your other leg if you need it. If you don't, no problem. All we're doing here is just applying more pressure than we did when we were using the sew right. So the sew back and the sew neck work really well for this. Gets the sew stick off the ground just high enough that you can be able to move your ankle around. You can be able to apply nice pressure into that calf. When you're doing these long passes, you can coordinate your breath. Nice and slow. And then when you find a tender spot, we're going to create that shear force. So we're going to move that ankle around. We're keeping the sew stick, keeping her leg in one spot, and then we're going to move our ankle in different left and right circles. We're going to point our toe, pull it back. And you should see and feel a difference in that ankle by incorporating this movement. And if you don't have a sew stick or a sew back and sew neck to be able to set it up like this, you can still do the same exact thing with the sew right. Now let's do one more test. Let's go back. We're going to get into that all fours position again, but then we're going to go up into that downward dog. Make sure that your wrists feel good. Let's roll them out a little bit. You can always come out of this at any time. You can always put something underneath your wrist. As you can see here, I'm rolling up the mat, so it gives me a little bit more of a range of motion in my wrist there if I needed it. I'm going to spread out my fingers as wide as I can to have a nice base on my hand, my palm. And then I'm going to go up into this downward dog, and I'm going to slowly try to bring my heels down to the ground and start to take inventory on how does my leg, my right, my left leg feel from each other. Slowly walking my feet up towards my hands. This can also be called an elephant walk. Trying to get my hands and my feet as close to each other as I possibly can while still breathing. Don't hold your breath. Go nice and slow. With every step, do an inhale. With every other step, do an exhale. And just keep it nice and slow. Don't go fast with this. This is really, really slow. And remember, you can always stay in one spot. You don't have to go too aggressive or keep your feet in this one line, one lane. You can go outside your yoga mat. You can bring them closer together. You can have fun with this. You can shift your hips a little bit more. You can come up all the way on your toes to get even more of a toe stretch. Even get a little bit of a calf stretch. See what it feels like in your pelvis too, when you're shifting your weight from side to side. What does your pelvis feel like? What do your hips feel like? What do your glutes feel like? What does your lower back feel like? Remember, don't work through pain. If your wrists are feeling funny, come out of it, shake them out, put something underneath your wrist. You can always too, if you have some push-up bars or some dumbbells, that you can be able to change the position of your wrists so now they're more straight up and down. You can always do that. You could grab some yoga blocks, so then you can wrap your fingers around the yoga blocks. That can also take a lot of tension off your wrists. Plus, it'll give you some more range of motion when you're walking your feet up to your hands. So then you can be able to get a little bit further than you would if you kept your hands on the ground. Now just stay in this downward dog and just shift left and right, and then stay on that right side. And let's move our hips around slowly. Shift your weight a little bit more into that right side. And then now we're going to come back and we're going to do some more massage. So we're going to massage, test a movement, massage, test some more movements, and we're going to do kind of a dance here. So we're searching to find what's the tight, tender spot in the movement, so then we can come back and we can start to massage that muscle, and then come back at a later time to retest that movement to see if we were successful in cleaning it up and getting more range of motion. So right now we're going to be working into the upper part of the calf. This is called your gastroc. And I'm using one peak at a time, finding the tender spot, and then keeping that peak there while I move my ankle in circles left and right, or just pulling my toe up towards my shin, pointing my toe away from my shin. I can shift my legs side to side. If I want to apply more pressure, I can use my leg. Or if I have the flexibility, I can be able to lean forward and I can be able to put my hands on either side of my calf to kind of give it a channel, and then I can press into that calf a little bit more. Now I'm going to spend a little bit more time here for myself because my calves can get really tight. They've been tight most of my life, but this has been something that has been extremely helpful for helping clean up that calf and bringing more flexibility to my ankles, less pain in my feet, and less pain in my knees. This is something you can do right before you go to bed. You can do this right when you get up, which is really important because when you sleep, your covers are pushing your toes down, which then is causing your calves to be in a short position. Now, if you sleep for 6 to 8 hours a night and you're staying in that similar position and your toes are being pushed down, then you're probably going to wake up with some tight calves, tight ankles, tight feet. So by massaging them before you go to sleep will help you not go to bed with tight calves. And then by massaging them when you get up will help you not have tight and sore calves throughout the day. So now you're not compounding on tighter muscles, you're actually getting some good recovery, you're getting some good blood flow, good circulation to your calves, to your ankles, to your feet, to your toes. Now, the thing that's great about the PSO RITE and the design of the PSO RITE and a lot of other products, and I haven't found one yet, that can get into the inner part of your calf, and the PSO RITE does a really good job of this. Just get into like a 90-90, more of a side sitting position. Place that peak right on the inside part of your calf, right near the shin. And all you're going to do is just pull that toe in. You're applying pressure with your leg, or you can use your hand if you have the flexibility, or if you have a buddy, a buddy can apply some extra pressure in that calf for you. But what I like to do here is I just keep my calf in one spot and just move my foot and let the weight of my leg do the work. And whatever you do on the right, you always want to do on the left. And then you can always compare to see which one's tighter, and then you can do a little assessment on what's your day like, what's your week's like, what's your month like, why is one side tighter than the other. Start to correct that, so then you can start to have more of a balance in your legs. And throughout this, we want to focus on that breath. You'll find tender spots, and that's going to want to take your breath away. When you find spots like that, that's the spot that you want to be able to pay attention to. Remember, don't overdo it. Don't push super hard. Still listen to your body. But this is something that you'd want to do more on a consistent basis, especially day and night. And potentially you will get caught up and you will see a huge improvement in that tender spot. Now, another area of the calf that gets neglected is the outer part of the calf. Now, there is a nerve that's up higher, closer to the knee. You can still massage it, but don't push too hard. We don't want to aggravate it, is the main thing. Because there's nerves all over your body. When you're massaging, it's hard to avoid nerves. But we can change the pressure so we don't aggravate the nerves, so it doesn't cause any type of numbness or any type of zinging. Well, that nerve, it's kind of like the funny bone, is that it's more exposed on the outer part of that calf, the upper outer part of the calf, so we can be able to get into it. You'll feel it, and then just back away and just move down a little bit. Apply pressure with that other hand. You can be able to move that foot around too. But this outer calf doesn't get a whole lot of love, but it gets a lot of work. And it goes through a very small range of motion, so those muscles are really tight. And there's a lot of muscles that are in that section of the calf that can have a tendency to kind of bound up next to each other, which then can cause issues in your feet, and it can also cause issues in your knee. So if you ever have any feet issues, toe issues, make sure that you are massaging into your calves, because all of those muscles, majority of all of them, come all the way down around the ankle and into the foot. Now we're going to do that retest. So we're going to get back up in that downward dog, and we're going to walk side to side. We're going to see the difference, feel the difference. And a lot of times what will happen is that tension will now move to a new section of the body. And we're just going to follow that. We're going to massage into that later, but right now, let's work into those feet, work into those toes. If you have the strength to come up onto those toes, by all means do it. If you don't, just come up a little bit onto the palms of your feet. And then let's slowly start to walk up towards the hands, shifting side to side. You can come up onto your fingertips to give yourself a little bit more range of motion, so you can be able to get more into the lower part of your back, your hamstrings, your glutes. Shift those hips side to side. This is a nice little elephant walk here. Shift side to side. Coordinate your breath. Remember, don't hold your breath through these movements. Focus on breathing nice and slow, in through the nose, out through the nose. Come all the way down into child's pose. Shift those shoulders side to side. And thank you for coming to the class.